It's been 1 year since car owners in the greater Montreal area have to pay a $150 registration fee tax. It used to be $59, but it was raised to help fund public transit. And some towns west of Montreal say it isn't fair because they aren't well served by public transit. That led one woman to launch a petition.
It's absolutely outrageous, and I think that the tax should be weighted based on your access to service.
The CMM, the Communauté Métropolitaine de Montréal, represents more than 80 Montreal-area municipalities. It voted on the decision back in 2024. The rationale was the tax would offset the public transit agency's deficit. The CMM says there wasn't enough financing from the province, and it forced a difficult decision. But some people living outside of Montreal say they don't have the same benefits.
C'est qu'on n'a pas assez de bus qui passent, par exemple. Le dernier bus qui va chez moi est à 9 h du matin, puis après ça, il n'y en a plus jusqu'à 3 h de l'après-midi.
The registration tax is in addition to a $30 public transit contribution, bringing the total to $180. It applies to the greater Montreal area, including the North and South Shores. But some of those areas have limited public transit options, including the ARTM commuter train and buses that come a handful of times a day, making some people feel the trade-off isn't fair.
It's simply a matter of access. So if people actually had access or an improvement in services to their public transit system, we wouldn't be talking about the same thing. The fact of the matter is that this tax is simply going into a deficit.
It's led to a catch-22 situation where people off-island buy cars to get around since public transit isn't practical, says the mayor of St. Lazare.
It would be, I think, more acceptable if we had more service that came with this fee. What we realize is the money that is paid is going towards serving a debt. So no new service is being developed in our territory.
The province says it's up to the MRCs to plan intercity travel, but the MRC says it isn't so straightforward. Transit in half of the region it represents is managed by the CMM, and the other half by the individual towns. La Chance would like to see more buses and transit offered between the different municipalities in the region, but no provincial funding is available.
What I think is needed at this point is for the government to intervene and to put a priority on public transit.
Quebec says the REM's Longueuil branch in Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue will be ready this year, with the hope of improving transportation in the area.
You're increasing bus routes, you're giving more access, then yes, absolutely. But with no additional access, no additional funding to the cities in the surrounding areas of Montreal, I think it's absolutely outrageous.
Candy Curry is hoping the tax will be reconsidered until transit is better developed in her region.